All right, everybody, welcome back to the weekend roundup. We're going to take a look at these stocks, see where they're headed. We got a nice move last week, as compared to the week before that. It was a little bit slow, but last week we got some nice movement on a lot of them. And we're going to take a look at where we're heading into this week to come. So we're starting a new month, which means we got some new money coming into the markets. So be ready to see that happening as well. So let's take it to the charts. All right, everybody, welcome back. First up is going to be the S&P 500. We got our push up into this area here with that 6,920. Got rejected, got saved by the 8 and 13 SMAs. Got the 20 coming underneath to act as some support. So we'll see what happens. We got this little bit of a range that's going on right now on this bar here, but we'll see what happens up when we open up on the Monday the 3rd, and see if we're going to either sell off or continue higher. Currently on the 2-minute chart, as you can see where I put this little channel in, that's kind of what happened in the after hours. And then this is pre-market on Sunday the 2nd. Alright, so we'll see what happens as the markets start to move into Monday the 3rd. But currently it looks like we want to continue to pull back and most likely come down and close these windows that were opened up here and then go higher. And also do a retest of the support area. But we'll see what happens. But right now it's got support coming in, so it may just want to hit the support and run up and retest over here. But we'll see what happens as we move into Monday. Next up is going to be the Bitcoin, and Bitcoin, put in a nice big bar on this Sunday the 2nd. It looks like it wants to continue going lower. Maybe we might follow this little channel that I put in here, or this little move that it made here, duplicate move coming down into here. We'll see what happens. Or it may find some support here at 107, but currently the way it's taking out this little bar here, and looks like we may continue to head lower, but we'll see what happens when we open up on the 3rd. The 3rd is the Monday, which is going to be key for most of these stocks. If this thing is down here somewhere when it opens on Monday, then look out below. Next up, and that's Bitcoin. If you want to trade the Bitcoin inverse, you want to do BITI. BITI is the inverse of Bitcoin. So this is going to go up as Bitcoin goes down. So that'll be your inverse play for Bitcoin. All right, back to the charts. We got oil, and oil is finding that support with the 20 that I talked about, and now it's starting to roll back up to retest this channel up here. So keep an eye on that. As if the 20 rolls over, we're going to get a nice J-hook pattern coming in, and we're going to probably push up into here somewhere and then pull back. And that's usually how J-hook patterns go. They run up and then they pull back. Alright, next up is the Ethereum, and Ethereum looking like Bitcoin. I thought Ethereum was starting to look a little bit different, but it's kind of doing the same thing as Bitcoin. So, yeah, Ethereum as Bitcoin goes, so does Ethereum. And it also looks a little bit worse. It's actually taking out that bar. But that's Sunday the 2nd. We need to see how it looks on Monday the 3rd. Alright, next up is the gold. And gold is trying to push back up to retest this 4,000 area, but I have a feeling we're going to get some failure as this 20 starts to roll over and add pressure to the downside. We already got the 8 and 13 trying to come in and add some pressure, but we'll see what happens. In the pre-market on Sunday, it looks like it wants to go higher, so we'll see what happens as we head into Sunday. So keep that in mind when you're putting your trades on, that gold may or may not run into some resistance at 4,066. Looks like it wants to try to push higher in the pre-market, but it's got this overhead resistance of this support turn resistance, and the 20 coming over, and the 8 and 13 SMAs. So be wary of that if you're trading gold. Next up is going to be the nat gas, and nat gas is still running higher. $4.24. So nat gas is off to the races. Next up, it's going to be the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ is getting a little bit of a pullback. Got a little bit of an indecision coming in. Got the 8 and 13 and the 20 coming up underneath the act as a support. So far, it's been respecting it, except for the day when the president made his comments about China. Other than that, it's been bullish ever since. So right now, everything looks like the bulls are still running in the NASDAQ. Next up is going to be silver, and silver is running into some resistance overhead. Got the 20 coming over and look like it wants to go flat, so that might be a nice little wall for it to go through. But then the 20 is not as strong when it's flat as the 200 is when it's flat, but it still will act as some resistance somewhat. But then you have the overhead resistance also of this $50 mark. So keep an eye on that on silver. Silver may want to try to get through here and go higher, but it looks like it might, most likely is going to run into some resistance and come back down here somewhere. Next up is the Dow, and the Dow is still making some indecisions over here. It hasn't quite decided if it's going to sell off or go higher, so we have to wait that one out and see what happens with it also. Right now it's an indecision bar, indecision bar, indecision bar, so the Dow can't make up his mind what he wants to do. So it's just sitting in this little channel right here. Get rid of that. So it's just sitting in this channel right here. Alright. So we'll see what happens with the Dow. If it breaks out and go up and retest, or if it just breaks down and come down here somewhere. Alright, next up is going to be corn. And corn looks like it wants to continue to go higher. If you want to trade corn, of course you can trade CORN, which is corn. Now the CORN doesn't quite act like, if you look at this, how this chart's moving, it doesn't quite act like the futures corn. Okay, it acts like it's just another traded type market type entity that trades corn. It doesn't act like the futures corn, where the futures corn you see it kind of steady going up, pulls back in certain, but now this one, the corn itself is doing something different. So you have to figure that out and trade it. If you want to trade corn, you figure that out yourself and handle it properly. But currently, corn looks like it wants to continue going higher. Once we get above this $435 area and up here and start to head higher, then you know you're in a safe bet, because you'll be in a bullish market at that point. Currently, we haven't quite made it into the bulls yet. We're still kind of half bearish, half bull. So once it makes up its mind, whether they're going to go higher or come back down here, then that's when you can decide whether or not you're going to trade it. Or the safer bet would be the direction, and then you can expect the Dow to pull back. So that's kind of how you can, trade the Dow and trade Apple and all these other ones. Right now, Apple looks like it's running into some resistance right here at about 277.32. So you can kind of look at the Dow, and the Dow should probably be doing the same thing. And maybe that's where that indecision bar is coming in right there. Okay, so all right, everybody, that's our weekend roundup. Hope the information was good for you. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and as always, be careful out there. These markets are crazy.